Hey, I think the next one up is Auntie Jean. So that was mine. It's going to be Paul. And Uka. Wow.
My name's not Jean.
All right. So recently, my mom celebrated her 90th birthday. Of course, she doesn't look that, but in fact, she is 51 years older than Rose. So we had a great time, and it's good to see everybody out there. Speaking of Rose, so we used to go down and visit Auntie Rose and Uncle Bill, and that during the day, Arlene and I would kick Jimmy and Steve's ass in hockey. Then we'd go back to Auntie Rose's and watch the hockey game. And Uncle Bill, we thought he was a genius, the smartest guy I've ever met. And he would, back in those days, the hockey game started at 8:30. So we'd get in our pajamas and get ready to watch the hockey game. And Uncle Bill would say, "Hey pal, you want me to go out and get some chips and Coke?" We'd say, "Yeah, Uncle Bill, get some chips and Coke." So he'd go out to the store to get some chips and Coke, and he'd come back and he'd say, "Okay, let's have some bets. I bet you the score is this." And he was always right. Geez, Uncle Bill's a genius. We didn't know that he went out to the garage to put the game on the radio and then come back and make a bet. Anyways, but you know, the funniest stories about my mom have happened quite recently, actually. But we're still younger. And fortunately, it's always on Erica's watch. So Erica's going to tell you a couple of the very funny situations we've gotten into. This is Erica. Give her a big round of applause.
We hosted a lovely party for Jean, and her sisters made a beautiful card. So I just wanted to read. It was actually like the cover of Cosmopolitan, and I just wanted to read a few of the headlines. So it said here, Jean Trelford, wonderful at 90, poet laureate of the Machino clan. Jean's forthcoming book.
Give me time to think.
Give me time to think about what I want to say. Phenomenal bookkeeper, keeper of the funds for Aurelia's Lawn Bowling Club and Probus Club, or Probus Aurelia. And for those of you that don't know what Probus means, is pro-business.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh.
Fleet-footed line dancer, and we almost saw a little bit of that earlier. Jean's love of music influenced her talented sons. And Jean's signature dish, manicotti crepes. And sommelier trained wine taster. So, there aren't any early stories, but Jean has...
There are, we forgot. You are getting old, aren't you?
And Paul's sort of representing the boys, but there are, girls in Jean's family, and us girls really appreciate the sisterhood that she has shown us. And so Jean has visited Paul and I quite often at our home, and sisterhood goes back to what Corrine was saying when her mom had a farm and they had a party line. Now in those days, a party line, and I shared this at our party, but in those days a party line was actually one household sharing a phone with many other households. So you had to run for the phone in order to get your call, or else somebody else might get that call. So when Jean has been at our house, she's answered our phone. One day I came home from a day of meetings, and Jean said to me, "Ilka, you had 2 calls today." I said, "Oh, who called?" "I can't remember." And I said, "Oh, was it personal or business? I think it was business. I said, okay, well, there's an answering machine, so it's good if we just leave the phone. It's not a party line. So a couple of months later, Corinne and her brother Ray came for a cousin's dinner, and Paul had gone to the store to pick something up. So I took the dogs out, and I thought that Paul had come home already. So I called from in the forest, and I got, hello? I said, Jean, it's Irka. No, she's not in. I said, it's Irka. Oh no, she'll be back. She just took the dogs out. So much for the party line. And, you know, life continues, and I was saying, yes, I was calling my own house.
Because we called 5 times and she never answered once. We were trying to leave a message and nobody was home.
There you go.
So she-
But, you know, I mean, the interesting thing is we've celebrated a milestone birthday, and I've been in the family for 17 years now, and it's amazing when you actually learn somebody's character and you study them, and you wonder, where does that tenacity come from? I mean, this group is a very tightly knit group of women, and obviously a brother now still with us, and there's love, there's family love, but there's also a tenacity that ties all of you together. And when I think of Jean, think of this. When she was born 90 years ago, she was born at 2.5 pounds, prematurely. And when they brought her home, they would put her in the oven to keep her warm. So these days, when we all get all fussed about things, you know, think about everything that these people have lived through and how they've managed. And I think it's the character of just taking what life gives you and taking it and not taking it too seriously. I mean, be serious when it's time to be serious, but also know that everybody around you will be there to support you with great love. So.
Oh, Peter.
Thanks, Irka.